everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Gold Rush, our Weird West 4th Edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign. Y'all, it has been a hot minute, so let us start things off by saying, I know last time we played was in September, but today is February 3rd, 2025, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audiocasts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So, speaking of I don't know, it's been so long, like I've lost the muscle memory of how to actually do this. I was flying, I was feeling
You were doing great. It was like you'd never stopped.
The grind never stops, but me took a break for a while, as it were. But if you're looking for other ways to support the show, let's say you already support us on Twitch and YouTube, and I was gonna say Twitter, but no, don't support us there. Find us a better place, Blue Sky. Find us some blue sky. And you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support these fantastic people even more? Guess what, Acorns? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, mugs, even clocks. We have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, with the designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds of our merch currently goes and has always gone to support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Again, that is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, RJ, who you playing today?
Hello everybody, my name is RJ, and today I'll be playing Kid, the Genasi Sword Mage. I go by he, him, he goes by he, they. We're both kind of menaces in a sort of weird way.
And LB.
Yes, I remembered. I was like, it's me, right? It's me. I always go after RJ. I'm LBHackEmUp. You find me at LBHackEmUp. I am going to be playing Trisannas, the Wilden Seeker. I didn't even need to look. I know what I'm doing.
Who am I? Who are you?
Who are you? I'm Triss at Trisannas.
It was
the Wilden
dream.
Seeker. I said that.
All I know is that the men who seem to know your crime will surely come a second time.
What? I didn't tell anybody about my crimes, though.
That's it. I've done my intro.
And hello, everybody. I'm the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be playing as Ruth, also known as Carruthers Edelweiss, Ruth to his friends, a human ranger. Last I checked, however, it turns out that we may not have been playing with the optimal Dungeons & Dragons 4th Edition rules, which you can ask us about in the courtyards, and we'll tell you all about it.
That just leaves me. Hey everybody, I am Wings, also known as Danae Keener. I am your humble dungeon master for this here excursion. And I know it's been a while, so let's get into the recap, and I can tell you at least what happened last time. Last time was session 19, making this session 20. Last time, y'all had a fight with Baron Dexter von Ferrum, which ended with the posse slaying him along with his ghostly collaborators, Daisy and Firearms. You'll remember Dexter von Ferrum was a vampire, but not a very tough one, as it turned out. Ruth retired to a bar and shared a drink with Triss and Rakel, as well as a few previously unknown details about his past, namely the fact that he originally ran with the Compass Roves. Intriguing. Kid, meanwhile, busied himself about refurbishing the Skyrail engine to be controlled by law, finding it to be a strangely temperamental machine. You may remember that it moved about in quite a strange way, but mostly when nobody was looking. Also, the Thorny Toad's Thorn asked for a lift out of town and is now hanging around with the posse. That night, Rakel's snare was triggered, and she finally met face to face with the creature that has been tailing the posse. It offered her another ritual and then disappeared at the sight of another posse member. And before boarding the train to the Palisade Mountains, Triss visited the Wishing Well to say goodbye to her old friend Smalls. And with the cycle of life and death in Lethe Springs well on the mend, the spirit of decay finally hatched. And that's where we left off last time. So we could either pick up with y'all loading onto the train, or we could pick up after you guys have taken off. If there's any like last second things that anybody wants to say or do in Lethe Springs, I leave it open to the forum. Otherwise, y'all could start up the sky rail and start heading towards the Palisades.
I have a little rat bird.
What the hell
You
is
have
that
a little
thing?
rat bird. A cute little turkey vulture, if I remember correctly.
A turkey vulture chick with down made of white mold.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A mushroom mandibuzz, got it.
Right, wonderful. Have you given it a name yet?
I wouldn't give it
Why
a
would I
name
do
that
that?
doesn't look long for this world.
Oh, I don't know. Do you not name beings that you are around?
No.
Oh.
It's not mine to give, I guess.
Well, why not?
It's just not really my place, I guess. It's more for them to come into.
Yes, but while it's young and cannot delve within its sentience to understand what a name is, do you not give it a sapling name? Is what we have.
No.
All right. Little one it is.
So what exactly is it?
It's... And she says something in primordial. It's the thing that comes after something has died and decomposed. It's the thing that comes out of that. The life after death, but not like undead.
Undead.
A ghost?
No.
The
Yeah.
in-between
like-
step where you're moving on, right?
Like whenever like you leave a kill out and then like there's like flies come and lay their eggs and like maggots and everything comes out or like whenever a log falls, like a tree
Oh.
dies and then like mushrooms and everything
Like
come
that sort of
off of it and help break it
decay.
down. It's the life that comes from what died.
And this is a good thing.
Yeah, you don't just want a whole bunch of like dead things sticking around.
No, I suppose not. I've just never
That's
really...
that like makes people sick. That's gross.
Oh, no, that is... Yeah, that's health and safety 101 is don't have the dead just linger, but...
Yeah, but like you want like the natural things to like come and break it down, like scavenge and decompose and
I've just
It's
never
right.
seen such a thing. Well...
As long as it's okay by you, it's okay by me. You're the expert here on this.
would you be against one of us giving it a name?
It's not mine to give.
Excuse me, not on the carpet. Thank you.
I don't think that makes a good name.
It's a long name, yeah.
Well, if it is yours to care for, so I shall
Oh
divert to
no,
you.
it's not.
No, why are you keeping it then?
I'm not keeping it.
No,
What are we doing with this thing?
why
I
did
just
you bring
wanted
it
to
on the
make sure
train?
it like okay.
It's not going to
I was
linger with us.
I was worried this whole time that there was no rot here. There was only death.
Oh.
And this is the now that I have made sure that this is back, I feel good leaving here.
Oh.
The cycle.
It's a
It's
symbol.
it-
It's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Is
Or
it actually
nothing.
alive or is it decaying? I just need to know for me.
I mean, like, it's
Yeah.
got that.
It's an idea.
Yeah, it's a concept.
Okay.
It's a concept.
It's a concept. Got
That's
it.
kind of
Alright.
that's
I'm out.
kind of the way spirits work in this world.
Right.
Is that they are typically like a natural combination of like two different things, and then they
Understood.
usually represent a concept or a relationship.
They're more or
that's
less
found
like
in nature.
kami, right?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say it's kind of like kami or elementals.
Yeah.
I see. All right. Well, I'm
Well-
glad that you have found solace in this being.
As this conversation has been going on, at first it seemed like kind of an illusion, or like, maybe you didn't notice it at first, but this bird is rapidly gaining like size.
Hey, Rakel,
Uh-huh.
is it supposed to be getting this big this fast, or
I mean, it kind of
Oh, I don't
turns
know.
and looks at you, Rakel, and it already has that sort of like gangly, like frog-mouthed juvenile look about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know how fast it's supposed to catch on, but like there's a lot of dead things here that hasn't had the
Mm.
chance to rot, so it's probably good that it's catching up.
you know?
It sort of put one wing out, and it's quite large. And then it puts
Thought
the
I'd
other
take-
wing out.
A picture?
It turns and looks at you with its wings out,
It's posing.
and
Take the
after you've
blanket off.
taken the picture, there's a sound, a rattling of bones, and the sound of wings beating as it takes off out of Rakel's hands, and you see it.
You know, I think it might be best for them to get a name of their own
Yep.
via like time. The legendary
Hmm.
rock bird of this place.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Goodbye,
Well,
little
I won't
one.
need this anymore. And Raquel just like throws the dead rat off to the side.
Splat.
It's gross.
It's not good.
Speaking of name and
Rot has
things,
caught up with it really fast.
it's disintegrating in your hands.
It'll
Ugh.
be dead soon enough.
Speaking of naming things, I think I just came up with a name for the train. And Kid'll sidle up next to the engine car, drag a finger along it, and use law to inscribe a name on the side.
Rotbird.
No. Kid's gonna name the train Tremontaine. It's the name of the North Wind.
Pretty cool.
No.
I like that.
I think it also means like to live on the side of a mountain or something.
That's really cool, also.
Tremontaine.
Wonderful.
That's how you spell it.
Tagney. Oh,
Ow.
there's no silent G? Ah, fuck this up.
Montagne is French for the mountain. I know that from Rainbow Six Siege.
I was just thinking of Ray LaMontagne, but here we are.
Oh, in the chat. Well, now that we are on our way, do we know what we are walking into, Mr. Ruth?
Well, to be fair, we're not going to be walking on account of the fact that we have this here train. But that being said, Saul is quite a big man. For the most part, he was well-tempered, but it's been a while since we last were on good terms, let alone any terms at all. He was a better man than most, but still big.
Are we talking about the big boss or the guy on the...
Oh, no, we're not talking about Goldtooth Joe. Goldtooth Joe is a dwarf. He was big in stature, but small in size.
So we're talking about the...
Yes,
wanted
yeah, the
poster.
giant, Saul. Yeah, he's, going...
That's Cirrus.
Cyrus, yeah, absolutely.
I was about to say,
It's
I guess
been
we
a
should probably
hot
better call
minute
him.
since
fine.
since I last laid
Can I
eyes
get
on
a-
him.
Can I get a short recap of who these guys are?
Sure thing. You guys haven't looked at the wanted poster just yet, but Ruth does know who would be next. So as he begins to refer to the next person on your hit list, as it were, as if to illustrate his words, the wanted poster makes that flipping noise and reveals a wanted poster for a Cirrus Bluff, the bounty, or hoard, rather, being recorded as 11,400 gold pieces. And what you see on this wanted poster, clearly, like, it appears to be an image that was taken from ground level, and you are looking up at a man that is easily 3 times the size as the person who is taking the picture. He's covered in furs, and both, though he's covered in fur, both that belonging to him and not, which is to say he has a very large beard, and a lot of tanned hides. He is wearing what would probably be either like a beaver skin cap or a raccoon skin cap, but to accommodate his size, it is a brown bear skin. And over his shoulder, he's carrying just a moose, an entire moose, just on his shoulder like a cat.
A live moose?
No, it's pretty clearly dead.
Okay. You said
Ruth
like a
would-
cat, and I was like, he
Ruth
keeps a
would
moose
know
as
that-
a pet.
Ruth would know that Cirrus Bluff was a pretty prolific hunter.
Got a big appetite to put things into perspective.
Ruthie,
Yeah,
He's a mountain man.
yeah.
if we head on over to Mr. Bluff's place, am I gonna assume that we may or may not get hunted on our way there?
Well, that depends. Do you think he knows that we killed his other 3 best friends?
Shrugs.
You think this is going to
Listen.
be a
Well-
situation where it's hunt the hunter or become the hunted?
I'm just saying, if this motherfucker sets up on the side of a mountain with a goddamn tarp and then snipes at us as we're walking around,
Oh, no, he wasn't the sniper. That was Miss Sissy. He's
He,
more of a...
he was more of a
hands-on.
trapper.
Yeah.
if we're walking around and like a bear trap the size of the goddamn train hits me, I don't think I'm getting up from that.
Oh, no. I
Not
wouldn't
if he knows
expect
what
you
he's
to.
doing.
That being said...
Gee, I sure hope not.
Hope not.
That being said, you know, Miss Triss, you seem like you have questions, curiosities.
The word of our deeds
Mhm.
might have spread, but not from the town that we just came from. However, being on this train, if we are going, he might not be expecting us to be riding it. And if we show up and he sees us on it, he might come to the conclusion of what we have done. So that might be something to think about as we traverse into the wilderness.
If it helps, he didn't hate me. I didn't hate him. So if
Do you have
he
any
is
qualms
looking
with
to,
killing him?
if he is looking to kill me, most likely it is probably something I did. But he's more of a talk first, trap you later kind of guy.
And do you have any qualms with killing him?
I mean, I've had qualms killing the last 3, but that hasn't really not last one. The 2 before I had qualms about.
To be fair, To be fair, we did give Sparky ample chance to not fight us.
We asked him at least like a dozen times, "Are you gonna kill us?" And he was like, "No," and then he betrayed us, and that's not really.
So honestly, I think the only one you should really feel bad for is Missy, because we didn't really get to talk.
Yeah,
to her.
she is trapped in a bad place.
Yeah, everyone else is meh. I
Dexter?
like Sparky,
No.
but he was a bit of a dick at the end.
After he got his horse body back.
I knew it! I knew it! He was gonna turn into a goddamn centaur! Kid starts walking onto the train.
Oh, I hate it when they turn out to be horses. Sorry, is that what we're talking about?
Yes, it is.
Who are you?
Thorny Toad and Jim.
Jim.
I'm not a thorny toad, Jim.
Oh no, it's Thurston.
I'm just a thorn.
Yeah, Thorn.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry. You all look very similar to me.
Oh, that's okay. They're all just me. There was only ever one guy. It was all me.
Thorn.
I mean, Thorny Toad Jim is another guy.
Right.
So it's just been me and him.
I meant humans in general, but
Excuse me, Mr. Thorn, would you kindly help me to shovel some coal into this fine machine?
Oh, yeah! Having been given a task rather than a quandary, as
Can I teach him how to operate the train? Can he be our
the look
train
on his
driver?
face, like he had like paused and was just like staring about when Triss mentioned humans, as though he had never considered whether or not he was human before. So now he has been given a task, and boy howdy, he's real happy to have one. Yeah, he'll come and learn how to run a train.
shall we?
Ruth will-
And Triss will pick up her skirt and walk out with it. Well, her remnants of a skirt. It's barely wears clothing. It's fine. She's a tree.
All aboard, I suppose.
Oh, Mr. Ruth, would you like to show Rakel the horn? It might be something that she is interested in giving a toot before we take off as a last hurrah out of the... That is custom, yes?
I mean, you're supposed okay. So Raquel, if you go up to the front, follow me. Now, when we go all aboard, you do. It's two long ones. Just it'll sound really fucking loud.
Two long ones of what?
So there's gonna be a cord tied to what looks like a horn thing, and you just pull it twice. I'll show you.
I don't see a horn. This thing does not have horns.
It's Do you have It's like a flute. Like a
Yes.
flute, like a train flute, but louder.
Okay.
I don't know how else to describe it. Generally, in our neck of the woods, we call them horns. It's because it starts small and gets big.
She says the primordial thing. There are 2 different words for it.
I need to learn this language. I am not picking up anything.
Why do y'all have multiple words that sound the same but mean completely different things?
Well, a long time ago, there was a city shaped like a donut, and people believe...
Starts to nosebleed a little bit.
Stop confusing the poor girl. Just take her up to the cord and...
They asked me how language begat. It's not my fault. Yeah, Ruth will take Raquel up to the
She immediately pulls it twice, and as soon as she hears it, she lets go.
Toot, toot. It's quite loud.
Bum 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 bum.
Why?
Oh god.
Why the hell did I have to do that? And she like beats Ruth a little bit. Don't make me do that again.
I can't say that it startles, because I feel like the spirit of decay does not startle. But at this sound, this vulture, which has like perched up on a building and just kind of like done that classic vulture hunch, takes flight. And as the train is fueled with normal coal, not soul coal as it ran on before, it begins to inch forward, and looking back you can see the dark shadow of that vulture just circling above the city, and the train begins to actually lift up and rise into the sky, living up to its name as the Sky Train.
I sure as hell would hate to be in that city right now. It probably smells like shit.
Oh, it's gonna
Things
smell
are
bad.
starting to rot again.
Jacob's
you
gonna
say
come
that-
back.
As you say that, Rakel, there's actually the sound of crumbling and wrenching steel as you watch the water tower just wither before you and fall.
Oh yeah, Rust was part of that too. Rust and
Yep.
Bird agree.
That was like that
And-
when we got here.
As you are lifting off into the sky, and just before the clouds envelop the train, blocking off your vision of the city, you watch as it rots and decays, and everything that the Baron had built here begins to be overrun by nature.
We did it. We saved the city.
We did it!
We did it.
We
We left
surely
it
did.
better than we.
I
We-
mean, very technically, we did.
We killed every point of authority, we destroyed the factory, and then we resurrected a spirit of rot that brought rot back to the town and is now making it crumble and turn to ash. But
We did
But-
it.
we turned a well back on. We fixed the well.
To be fair, this place is called Death Valley.
I was going to say, to be fair, the well spring was incredibly important. Much more important than the town.
You might
Also-
say that you restored order.
Yes, I was going to say the balance has been returned, though it is very quickly doing so. Yeah.
The law has been balanced.
Yes.
I feel good about this one, he says, watching
This
his town
house is
crumble.
clean.
Crumble.
Just
Strong
imagine, like,
breeze just blows buildings away.
in the comedy cut, Ruth is like, "Yeah, we did good." Then a giant skeletal fist just starts punching its way out of the ground. We did good.
And that looks like a problem for not us.
Choo choo, indeed. The train begins to like really pick up speed as it like reaches cruising altitude, as you might call it. You break through the cloud bank, and are able to see like above the miasma that has settled in this valley for the first time, and you are stricken by how blue the sky is up here. And over an ocean of clouds, a good like hundreds of miles away, you can see the Palisade Mountains just standing as majestic as ever, off in the distance. And you realize this is it. This is the last stop, basically, before you reach the Gold Coast, and all of this is over.
Kid is looking out the window, looking at the expanse of clouds and blue. Poker face on, but you can see that there's like little sparks of electricity jumping off of him like a static electro ball. If he had a tail, he'd be wagging it because he's happy.
Ruth is just having the mantra of "don't look down." as he maneuvers throughout the train.
Ruthie,
Versus
come check this
sitting.
out.
No, I don't think I will.
If you look between the train cars, you can see the ground.
No.
Mr. Ruth, would you like a book to read?
Does it have pictures?
Buddy.
Honestly, would you like me to read to you?
Yes. I find that you have a lovely speaking voice. And it's not because books are hard.
Of course. This is a tale of two cities.
Oh my god, there were two of them.
Of mice and men?
Oh, no, two cities.
Hmm.
There was a papa and a prince. She started telling the story.
Class. This journey will take several hours, so it seems that a few of you are passing the time by reading a book. How will the rest of you pass your time? Yes, kid?
I kind of want to know what Rakel's doing.
Oh, I want to know what Rakel's doing then.
So is it common around these parts for like y'all to run into Iron Flesh, or and she's thinking about the guy who dropped off some rituals to her.
The creature that had been following you that you caught in your snare.
Yeah.
And Ruth actually briefly encountered one night. Who are you speaking to when you ask this?
Just whoever's by. So if Kid was looking for Rakel, then
Yeah, he's wandering around at this point.
so I haven't seen that many Iron Flesh around here, but
What would I roll for knowledge about the Iron Flesh?
Oh, that's a good question. I would roll either Arcana or History.
Guess who got a bump in their Arcana after using the sheet? It's a 12 now.
Oh, that's exciting.
Kid's a smart kid. 25.
Numbers get silly in 4th edition.
Don't worry, I
20
only have 2 12s.
You rolled Arcana then.
Yes, chef.
Those guys aren't supposed to be around anymore. And they're definitely not supposed to be capable of speech. There was an effort to eradicate these strange mechanical creatures that were sort of terrorizing the Palisades a while ago.
Relay as such to Rakel. Well, our little part of this area shouldn't see any of them. We're supposed to get eradicated a couple years back. And from my knowledge,
she looks concerned that like she doesn't realize these are constructs.
Oh, they're. I wouldn't say they're like people. They're like machine people. It's weird. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, to my knowledge, they shouldn't be around anymore.
Okay. Did they that look that I'll be real honest, that don't sit right with me, but
I would figure it's a concerning thing to come across something that shouldn't be there.
well, no, just the fact that I don't know. Do people around here often decide who does and does not get to exist?
I mean, kinda, sorta, yeah.
All right.
Do you know about the McAllisters?
No.
Exactly.
And at this point, I don't think I want to.
Exactly.
That little
I
boy
think
who
I wanna
trapped
go
those two
home.
men in that house.
What? Is it not? I'm trying to remember. Never mind me.
What are I'm so curious as to what you wanted to say, because what you did say was the family that left Kevin home alone.
No, I was thinking about like really old family grudge between like two families.
The Hatfields and
Oh,
McCoys.
Hatfields and
and
McCoys.
McCoys. Thank you. There was an M in there.
Thank you.
I like the
I was
McAllisters.
so
It's the
The
McAllisters
it's
versus
the McAllisters.
Roberts.
The Harpers and
and-
McAllisters.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
They are
So,
literally, they are legally distinct from one another. So, next, if we come across like a town or something, we could hit a library if you want to find out more.
Is there a town where we're going?
Ruthie!
And so you're telling me that they were equal?
Mr. Edelweiss!
Hey, yeah, yeah. Yes. What do you want?
The next place we're going to go
Yeah.
see, Mr. Bluff. Is there a town nearby? We've come across a sort of epiphany of sorts.
So, there's not really towns in the Palisades, last I remembering, mostly because it's inhospitable the majority of the year. So a lot of it is just sort of every once in a while you'll hit an outpost. Every once in a while you'll find a trade post, that sort of thing.
We should probably hit one of those trade posts to get cold weather gear.
Oh, why do you think I bought cold weather gear where it was mighty warm, he says in his winter coat. That being said, if you did want to dust it and then recreate your own, you're more than welcome to it.
I ain't got a Swiffer. To dust it.
Yeah. Entirely up to you, but things I would
Ruthie,
recommend.
you're old.
Yeah, well, yes. You're young.
Explains the situation to Rakel. Do you know anything about them?
That is a question for the Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master, does Ruth know anything about these robot people?
you fought them in the war.
You sure do. Well, they were mighty fine opponents. Tell you that much. And it's actually because of them that we figured out how to use gold to power our own version of law. So, there's quite a few things to be learned from them. Now, before you have that get that look of horror to be more deep-seated, as much as it's not as much as an excuse, but I was young and following orders at the time. That being said, also they're pseudo-sentient robots, mechanical creatures.
How pseudo?
Well, we met one who was independently acting on top of a train and gave Rakel some magic spells. So as far as how sentient do you want to put it versus how sentient I was told they were when things first started going off, two very different ball games. That being said, there's also a reason why I stopped being with the Compass Rogues. And why? I
Okay,
don't.
so the Compass Rose was the people who decided that all the Iron Flesh needed to.
Oh, no, 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 no. They just took a little bit more joy in it than others. The people who decided that the robot people shouldn't necessarily be around, I'm going to put a blank arrow point finger at, I want to say, the government. It seems like something that the government would want. Because I fought for the state.
Which government, Mr. Ruth?
The government. We've never given it a real name.
It's true.
Like the royal we.
More of the world, the pseudo not United
Well, we
States.
can't use the law.
The law.
Exactly. Ruth's kind of sitting in the hot
The
seat
order.
here. We haven't fleshed out like the government. I feel like the government, the quote unquote the government, is no longer an active member here.
Yeah.
I feel like the Compass Roves are now the government.
Cool.
They
Can't
weren't
wait to kill
necessarily
this last guy.
Anarchy. Yeah, let's go.
they weren't necessarily the ones who like started the war.
But we finished it.
But the people, they were
Billy
the ones who
Joel.
finished it.
Cool. Can't wait to kill this guy now. I have a motive.
Oh, also, I do want to stop in somewhere to talk to a gunsmith.
Well, we can
Something-
find one. You are more than welcome to direct this flying train back to the ground.
Yes, that is an interesting discussion. Who is directing where this train is going?
Well, it's
if
currently
the four of
following-
us are here, that just leaves the toad.
Then
Oh my god!
Then who's driving the train?
Thorn's driving the train.
You guys would be aware that this train is a direct line to Cloud Fort Pass, which is it's going directly to the Cloud Fort, which it was the main headquarters for the Compass Roves, and
is
basically
it
the-
Rose or Rose?
Roves with a V.
Because it's a play on Compass Rose.
I get it, but I have been calling them the Compass Rose, the flower, for the whole time.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's okay, we're all speaking country. No one can understand our accents.
Exactly.
Well-
the train goes directly to the Cloud Fort Pass, which is the only
offense at
known
that.
safe
Sorry.
pass
I know,
through
I said it
the
and then I looked at you.
Palisades.
Sorry.
All right, well, since we will be there in a couple of hours, does anyone need to take a rest, or is there anything we need to do to prepare ourselves for stepping out there? Or are we not stepping out
I mean,
there?
what do we know about like what we're gonna run into? This guy. What territory does he hold?
Yes, he doesn't strike me as a city folk.
Like we've run into a lady who made a whole fake town or made a whole real town, but put a patina over all of it. We ran into a cyclone of horses and a whole dead town. What's coming up?
That's a good question.
Uh,
And I only phrase it
I'm
as
looking.
such because
I'm looking for you. I'm looking at you. Where's the information?
the good question being, like with Miss Sissy, like with, I was about to call him Speedy. That's a different character.
Sorry.
And like with old Dexter there, been a while since I've seen any of them, and whether or not that they've taken control over a region in any way, shape, or form is, well, something I necessarily wasn't paying attention to. That being
Whoa.
said, as far as what the old keep used to be, Dungeon Master, what was the old home base like for the robes?
It was a cozy fort. Like, the mountains themselves are called Palisades. Like, the fort itself is giant-sized, but like the interior was furnished for both giant and people of your stature.
Regular.
It was basically the home base for the Compass Roves.
And I'll relay that.
All right. You would also know that the Palisades themselves are like you nearly died by being exposed to the elements there.
Yeah.
So very cold, very snowy. And the follow-up to that is that there's an eternal blizzard going on currently. And it has turned the Palisades from a very dangerous place to travel to a deadly place that is impassable.
Yeah, I relay as such.
I see.
All right, Ruthie. I'm gonna have to ask you for them cold weather gear.
Here's my coat. Do with it as you will, but make sure you bring it back.
Can I dust Ruthie's cold weather gear and then make 5 sets of them?
Oh. That's pretty cool. I believe that Ruthie actually has some magic armor.
It is. It's my winter snap armor.
Ooh.
Would you like to read up on what that does?
Yeah. According to the character builder, I can find it here. Winter snap armor. This white armor absorbs cold winds before they find your flesh, storing the bite of frigid air so you can bring it forth when the time is right. It gives you +1 AC, and you gain cold resistance equal to 3 plus twice the armor's enchantment bonus, which this armor's enchantment bonus is +1. And you gain a bonus to stealth checks in snowy or icy environments equal to the armor's enhancement bonus as well. Then it also has a minor action. You can activate an aura 1 that lasts until the end of the encounter until you deactivate it as a minor action, blah, blah, blah. Then it just says squares in the aura are difficult terrain for creatures other than you.
Got it.
So you can have like a little cold burst around you.
I kind of still want to keep my Scald's armor, so...
There is an alternative.
Yeah, but I would need to go hunting for it.
Okay. Rakel is free to share that at her leisure, or not.
I might have something else, but I'd need to spend a little time like knowing what the elements are.
I mean, once we park up there, we could use the train as a sort of shelter for the time being while you go out hunting.
Have any way of searching without going ourselves? Do we have any? I mean, I could send spirits, so if there are any there, to search for us, get a lay of the land, but is there other options?
Most of my skill set's in finding Robin.
The bird?
The bird's back there. Points like several 100 miles away.
Still just...
I think it's gotten bigger.
Yes.
Cut to just a pile of congealed flesh that's just splooted. And then a couple of bones pop back out again and form another little chick.
No.
It's like a rot phoenix, yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Well, I'd suggest we, as you said, use this as our base of operations. I can see what I can find with my spirit sense and talk to some locals if we don't find any locals to talk to.
Works for me.
Giving the DM time to plan.
Now, if you'll excuse me, there is something I have dreamed of doing. Kid is pulling out a rope from his satchel and he's walking in between the train cars.
Oh, this is bad. Please don't. You'll die. We've made it so far. I mean, you do what you want.
We've made it so far.
They are an adult.
If I poke my head above the train cars, is like the wind blasting me back.
Oh, for sure. And like it's starting to get like first of all, you're like at a pretty high altitude, so it's already cold. But if you look over the edge of the train, you can see that like you're getting that like spotting of snow, like as you're moving from one climate into another. Like there's snow on the ground, and the kind of fog of a storm ahead of you. And as you stick your head up between the train cars, like the wind blows your hair back and you can feel icicles beginning to form.
Kid clambers down from the ladder, pokes his head back in. It is just a straight back, like
Yeah.
hair
Frosted.
blown. Well, maybe I'll do that some other time
It's
because
nice and sunny and a little bit lower.
honestly, I don't see the appeal in fighting on top of a train car. I think it just sucks.
Is that what you were wanting to do?
I was gonna stand on top of the train car and scream at the top of my lungs.
What were you gonna
Because-
scream? Were you gonna scream like, "Come at me, you big son of a bitch"? Like that kind of? Were you gonna antagonize?
No, I was gonna scream "Wahoo!"
Oh, right.
DM, if I wanted to message you a question, where would be the place to do that?
You can just send it in Discord straight to me.
Chat, what did he mean by that, chat?
Chat?
And if you guys ever send me a message on Discord and I don't respond, either I'm either I'm speaking currently or I haven't seen it, so do let me know.
It's getting colder. We should probably figure out our clothing situation.
If you would like to create, do I have natural resistance to cold since I am tree?
Well,
If
Pokemon
your-
has taught me anything.
Yeah, if your
You do
character
not.
sheet does not say you have resistance to cold, then you
Okay.
would not.
That makes sense.
Could I use law just to modify my Scald's armor to just have more fur on the inline?
Yeah, you guys could absolutely use your you could use your law to give yourself winter gear.
Okay.
Like mundane or otherwise.
Yeah.
If you want it to have mechanical effect, such as Ruth's armor, you would have to have access to a blueprint doing that, or find something that's your level or lower that you could conjure.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but my Scald armor is my baby.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
It's
I love-
some good armor.
I love this thing more than about as equal as my sword. Yeah. I don't have a favorite, I just have a preference.
So
the truth.
copying that armor would give me the same bonus to AC, but it would give me more in the long run.
I would
Right,
also check
resist-
to see if you can wear that kind of armor to begin with.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you have proficiency in whatever armor Ruth
Light?
is.
It says armor any.
Armor any, so
I
you could
have-
make it into an armor that you are allowed to wear.
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
the Winter Snap armor is an enchantment more so than it is.
You
dedicated
are
armor.
wearing armor already. I believe it's the
Yeah.
serpent skin armor.
Yes.
If it becomes
Which
a
is-
problem, I do have something. I need to cook.
Uh-huh.
Let 'em cook.
Let Rakel cook. She's got something that's gonna help everybody. So
Yes,
you,
chef.
you
Yeah.
don't necessarily need to worry about it. For the time being, we can say that y'all make yourselves some winter gear. that will protect you in a
Understood.
mundane way.
So mundane.
But speaking of Rakel, as she's sort of mulling over the resources that are available to her, and thinking on her past experiences, can you give me a perception check?
I hit a button. It says 20.
20. That's pretty damn good. There's something that's kind of been nagging on at the back of your mind since you boarded the train. And I think that this is the moment where you kind of put it together. There's something familiar about the train that you couldn't quite put your finger on, but looking at it now, just kind of the motifs of the filigree of the metal, the
Is
way
this the
that
son of a bitch that almost ran us over?
oh no,
Okay.
the way that like the glass sort of bows outward, it reminds you of the creature that was following you that you caught in your snare, as though they were made by the same artist. And as you're thinking that to yourself, you hear a train whistle go off, but not as loud as before. Distant, sort of swallowed by the wind.
Is there another sky train thing?
Not that I'm aware of.
Who made it?
Wish I could tell you, to be fair.
All right.
All I know is Dexter had one.
Captain Kidd?
Yeah, Thorn.
You told me to shovel coal into the engine. I got a question.
What happens when you run out of coal?
Oh, no, I got plenty of coal. It's just, is it supposed to throw it back out?
Spurs and boots jingle as Kid quickly walks to the engine car.
You walk over to the engine car, and like there is a flame in the engine. You can't see what's burning in there, but Thorn will walk up, take a shovel full of coal, throw it into the engine. A few moments pass, and then like that coal is spit back out.
Now, Rat, I don't think they really like law all that much at the moment.
You hear another train whistle off in the distance. A little bit closer now.
Is that you? To the train?
As if in response, your train's whistle goes off, repeating the pattern that the distant whistle made.
Can I make a history check for train codes?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, it's like a train robbery, you know, you kind of hear like a toot 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 and you go, there are government people aboard. It's like flag signals. There's a 17 plus 7 is 24.
24. This is no code that you know of. In fact, this train is supposed to be one of a kind. There's not supposed to be any other trains like this. The train whistle you're hearing off in the distance is an anomaly.
It's a caboose.
Is there like a little side window that I can peek out of and look around?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you?
You open up that side window. There's the roar of wind. Yeah, snow coming in. You can see that there is a rime of frost and icicles that are like just sideways hanging off of the train as it screams through the sky. You like peer out through the snow, which has become very prevalent at this point. Looking for. Give me a perception check, I guess.
Yeah. Kid pulls his head back and turns to Thorn. I don't know why I did that. I can't fucking see.
You ever try opening your eyes?
Kid does so, and there are bolts of electricity and like rolling storm clouds before he closes them again.
Like when you open your eyes, like Thorn just like quietly screams to himself the entire time your eyes are open, and then as soon as your eyes shut, he closes his mouth.
What was that?
You have beautiful eyes.
Oh, thank you. So there's a phantom train that's whistling. All right.
Like a phantom ghost train, or like
Fuck.
Is it real or is it a ghost train?
Fuck.
I don't know why he's so surprised. We've all been on this train for hours.
Well, he just said he
cannot
can't
see.
Yeah, I just said he can't see. Y'all snuck up on him.
I'm gonna climb on
Shall
top
I
of the
go
train.
Sorry, kid. Sorry, kid. I'll tell you next time I see somebody. Oh, she's climbing on top of the train.
I don't know.
Be careful.
Rakel, you clamber on top of the train. There is ice whipping across your skin. Like you are standing up there. What
Yep.
are you? Yeah, you're gonna look for this ghost train.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'm gonna listen for the whistles and the everything else. I've like got my furs in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
spear, like bracing myself on the train,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. So you head down, listen for this train echo. Give me a perception check.
25.
25. Okay. That's good. That's really good. The wind is whistling past you, screaming past you, whistling through your ears, and you come to realize that that is not entirely the wind. It's a train whistle. It's multiple train whistles. It's train whistles all around you. And you look up to where you heard the closest whistle, and there is a crack of lightning, and silhouetted in the clouds to your right, you see a tangle of trains flying around each other.
Like around
Like
each other, or or like.
Because of what you are, I will describe what you would think of first. It's like a tangle of mating garter snakes.
Okay, I'm assuming, and as I posted in chat, the span of my train knowledge comes from Thomas the Tank Engine, and those trains communicated in a very different way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that there's that I got to the roof via an interior like ladder hatch something.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna peek back down. Trains don't mate, do they?
When you say that, there is a whistle off from the right, toot toot, and your train responds in kind and speeds up and bucks. Like it has become a lot more turbulent. And if you couldn't, if you didn't know any better, it would seem like the train is trying to jump the tracks.
Oh, that's not fun. I don't like that. Who's the train expert here?
Doesn't it make its own tracks?
Kid's immediately jumping onto the controls to try and wrangle Tremontaine.
What should I do? What should I
Give
touch?
me an Arcana
What shouldn't I
check,
touch?
kid.
Oh, I got an idea for this. Please, 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 please. 18 plus 12 is a 30.
That's incredible. You are able to recall the entirety of Daisy's journal, which you consulted while refurbishing this train. You remember every single time she described it as ornery or stubborn, and why she had to, quote unquote, muzzle it with a soul coal adapter. This thing is more than just a train. It is old, and it has a mind of its own. And for that matter, it's hungry.
Could I start infusing the coal with law?
I had thought of that. You can try.
Actually, no. Okay. Arcana again?
Go for it.
Okay. That's a 17 on the dice for a 29.
Okay. How much gold are you going to put into this coal?
I will put... If I put 300 GP into the coal...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kid is going to put 300 GP gold law worth into the coal. He is grabbing like a lever, pulling it, spinning a wheel, thrusts a hand out at the pile of coal. Golden threads weave out of his hand and fingers and just encompasses it. He crushes his hand and it begins to suffuse into the coal, these golden strands, to functionally turn some of them into diamond with pressure.
That's pretty cool.
And then he will also manipulate them to, like, just go right into the furnace.
All right. You pick up a piece of coal, and you get ready. You like wing back to toss it into the furnace, and this thing turns inside out. The best way I can describe it as it opens a radial maw, the teeth being comprised of steam pipes, which turn jaggedly inward and reach out in such a way as to take not just the coal, but as much of you as it can get. You have moments to react, and I think that would be a great place to start a skill challenge after we come back from a break.
Hooray! We're gonna try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go to a place unless it's to grab food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or hold on for dear life, because this train has a mind of its own! And we'll be right back. So, don't go to a place. We'll see y'all soon. Alright, everybody? See you soon! The button, and we're back! Hello! Everything looks like it's working, except this train.
Yep. Yellow. The train is working. It's working a little too well, and not for you anymore. the train has opened up what I can only describe as a maw, a radial maw made of steam pipes and a flaming core, and is trying to do a heckin' bite on Kid, who has offered it a piece of coal infused with law, and seems to want a little more than that. So I would like all of you to roll me initiative. Oh, let me open up the initiative tracker first.
Wha?
All right, go for it. Click on your tokens
Oh.
and give it a go.
Oh God.
Wow.
Oh my god, I'm at the top? Or Kid's at the top, thank god.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense that Kid would be the first one to react in this situation. So going into this skill challenge, we're going to be using the same modified rules that we have before, where you are attempting for a partial success or a full success. The partial success being 5 to 6 successes and the full success being 7. Within 3 turns. I will track on the tracker, or not turns, rounds, excuse me. Everyone will have at least 3 turns. So I will track on the tracker when a round has passed, and that will indicate to you whether or not you are close to victory. I will say, going into this, the goal of this skill challenge is to survive. Do not set your sights too high, as this train cannot be tamed.
We need a train wrangler.
So, Kid, you are at the top of the initiative. This thing is trying to take a bite out of you.
I think the most natural thing is to go, ah! Athletics to hold the maw open so he doesn't get swallowed. Athletics. Ugh. How does a 32 do me?
Jesus.
That's a success.
That's a natural 20.
Oh, a natural 20, that's 2 successes.
Oh, shit!
Dude, hell yeah. Okay, so what do you do that that constitutes for such a rousing success here?
Oh, it's all in the
Um,
simplicity. The train maw goes to bite into Kid, but he just holds, like, the pipe teeth away from him, and he is just shoved back, like, a couple of inches. But he holds.
And you're just like sitting there holding it open rather than like
He's shoving back, like, just so it doesn't swallow him completely, but he is holding this maw in place.
sick. All right. Well, that is a rousing start. Kid, you are holding this maw in place. You get kind of slid backwards. And as this happens, the train will fully buck off of the tracks, and everyone's stomachs sort of like rise into their throats
Oh, it's
as
like
you
a plane
feel,
dip.
yeah, like a sudden like drop in altitude, as this train is going full on roller coaster through the sky. Yes?
Am I dead?
You're on top of the train. We'll find out what's going on with you when we get to your turn. Ruth!
Cool.
I forgot about that.
Am I dead?
So
Good
Ruth
question.
has just watched this train come alive, try and eat Kid, and he is inside of it. He's right next to Triss. So I think what Ruth is going to do is that he's going to take his climber's kit and quickly tie a rope around his waist and then tie a rope and then toss it over to Triss to tie a rope around her waist as well. In the event that we go plummeting out of this train, at least we go together.
Okay. What would you like to roll to do this?
To roll, let me see here. Well, athletics was used, so I cannot use athletics. Would endurance be used for this? As I have to try and keep myself stable while this train is bucking and rearing and trying to eat us.
That seems applicable.
Okay.
But this will be the first time that I've really pointed this out. The person who's coming after you is Rakel. And I don't recall whether or not her endurance is very good.
Okay.
I mean, the point being that might be the skill that Rakel wants to use in this situation. You're good. You'll work with it. Okay. Give me an endurance check, Ruth.
21.
Let me double check. That is, in fact, a number that we can count as a success.
And as he's doing it, he tosses the rope over to Triss. Says, "How much gold do you have on you?"
Not a bit.
We just need a couple. If you have 1,000, I need to use it.
Yes. She'll like grab her purse and toss it to you.
Great. Cut to the roof of the train, which has taken a sudden dive. Rakel, I think that like your feet, for a heart-dropping moment, leaves the roof of the train, and you see cars begin to speed by below you. What do you do?
All right. This is not a vehicle anymore. These are giant fuck-all creatures that these people thought that they could control. Great. Love that. And I'm up here. I mean, can I try and discern, like, what its goal? Like, it clearly wants to get us off and everything, but is it looking for a place to descend? Is it trying to break any sort of shackles that were put on it? I don't know if I'm more going for insight or if I'm trying to read this as if it were a trapped creature.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
we need
could
a
see
name
this
for
being
Rel's
either
final
a
evolution.
nature check or an insight check.
I would much prefer it to be a nature check.
I am willing to entertain that.
21.
That's a success. As the adrenaline begins to course through your veins, the roar of blood in your ears, along with the roar of the train whistle, there are a number of things that come to mind. Clearly, this was some sort of creature that was wrestled into control and has now slipped the noose, as it were. The fact that there are other trains kind of implies that it would like to return to them. There is more information here, but I don't think it would necessarily come to mind as you are plummeting to your death. I think that the most useful information that you can glean from here is that this is no longer an option for transportation.
Okay.
Uh,
My immediate thought is to whistle for the other trains,
oh,
but
oh,
that will be another skill check.
okay then. Trisannas.
So I have rope, and I am going to move, grab my gun, grab a handful of gold from the bag, and I'm going to try to infuse one of my bullets with the rope and try to hit Rakel so that Rakel does not plummet to her death.
In a like magical, like grappling sort of way rather than a.
That's the hope, because I can't tie a rope to an arrow because I have a gun.
Yeah. No,
Harpoon me!
This is exactly the kind of bullshit that Law was made to
Guys!
do. Let's do it.
Okay.
I love that for you. Let's
Okay.
try it. What would you
Okay.
like to roll in order to do this? And unfortunately, Raquel has just rolled nature, which I would presume
Yes.
you would want to.
Yes. But I could also use
You could use
acrobatics.
perception. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
acrobatics to like keep your aim steady while
Mhm.
on the plummeting train. You could roll
Yeah.
perception to keep your eye, keep. I mean, like it's the
Mhm.
same thing, but like
Insight
Raquel
as
is
to like where she's falling.
sure. Intuit where
Yeah.
she's going to be. Like it's a situation where you're only going to have like one shot,
Yeah.
and like you don't necessarily see where she is. You have to intuit where she is. Like
Yeah.
I could see that.
Okay. I
Or
will roll.
yeah.
I will roll insight for this. As she imbues the magic, and you see that the rope is like kind of going into her gun now, and she says, "Now, Mr. Ruthie, hold tight." I'm going to shoot with a 29.
Oh, look at that. I've been impaled.
Call back for keeps.
Yeah, that's
there is the crack of a rifle, and we could either imagine this as like the rope like shoots out in a like like trailing like gold sparkles, and like Raquel can grab it, or if you would rather have it be that the rope like lassos Raquel.
I think it'd be cool if it was like the bullet goes into her, like not physically, but like it goes
Right.
through her and like almost like grapple hooks to the back of her, and the rope kind of just like attaches like a seatbelt around her waist, and
I
like
love
kind
that.
of clicks into place.
I see the way this is animated in my mind's eye, and it looks sick as hell.
Thank you.
All
And
right,
she's kind of
cool.
looking, I got one.
We have now reached a partial success, and it has only been the first round. So we can keep on going and try for a full success for some extra goodies. Kid.
Hello, that's me. Am I getting the
guess I'll-
sense? Sorry, go ahead.
I guess I'll say that this is round 2.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Can I diplomacy the train to calm down a little bit?
It is not a human.
Do the Pratt from Jurassic World.
Does that mean I have to intimidate them?
Intimidate or nature, if you are trying to like communicate with the train in any way, it is for all intents and purposes an animal.
My intimidate isn't too bad. How does a 20 do me?
A 20 is going to be just enough for a success. How are you trying to communicate with this train?
Is Ruthie still behind me? Or what's the situation? Everyone's bailing out, or
Rakel has currently just been lassoed by. I believe you guys are all in the same room. Rakel's just been lassoed by Triss. Ruth has just caught Triss's purse and is about to do something with the gold inside.
I would also like to point out that I tied the rope to myself that Triss then shot Rakel with, who is currently making a downward velocity out of the train car.
Well, the train is still descending, so
Yeah.
she's trailing like above the roof of the train.
Okay,
Like,
gotcha.
I will still be descending. I would still be decelerating at the same speed that the train
Okay.
is, because that was part of my original
Yeah.
momentum.
Gotcha.
Newtonian physics.
Newtonian physics.
Newtonian physics.
Off to the side, I think
Yes.
Thorn is screaming silently to himself because Kid has opened his eyes. He's staring down the maw of the train. He is pouring gold into it to try and satiate it, but also he says to the train, I ain't gonna muzzle you, but I ain't also gonna let you do what you want.
And this was an intimidation check?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's a situation where it's kind of like bit off more than it can chew. And you can like you're pouring the gold into its maw, and it is like choking on the amount of law that you're pouring into it right now. So it's like struggling to retaliate.
But if you want my law all that badly, you can take all of it. Hulk, what was it? That one movie where he's sadly walking away on the road.
That was just the Hulk TV show with Lou Ferrigno.
Tummy hurt.
Ruth.
Yeah. So with the gold that I got from Triss, so are we still going by the magic level of items that we can craft, or is it just anything that we can afford?
If you can afford a level that's higher than yours,
Yes.
I'm gonna let you do a roll
Okay.
to make it. If you would
Specifically,
like.
it says level 9 as the item level, but I want to make an ebony fly, which would allow us to, or at least one of us, to ride it. So that way it gives us the option of not just plummeting to our death if we can't figure something out. Or,
Okay.
yeah.
Law is basically the manifestation of your power. However, it manifests for you. So for a druid, it would be their druid powers.
Yeah.
For a wizard, it would be their wizard powers. So we exemplify the way that they interact with law as Rakel and Trisannas rolling nature and Kid rolling arcana, which are skills in which they are trained. Have we ever had Ruth do a roll for
I think
manipulating law?
I know that we did when he dusted the security statue in like the second episode, I think, something like that. I believe we had
Do
him
you remember what he rolled?
poorly as he got zapped, but I believe
I
we
think-
had him rolling arcana at the time.
Yeah.
I would argue as a ranger who's trained in nature and I'm trying to summon a giant fly, could I possibly roll with nature for this one?
Give it a try.
All right. Give it a try for the fly. That's 17.
Is unfortunately not enough,
It's okay.
but we do still have plenty of tries left.
Okay.
So Ruth, you are. I imagine you're like struggling with the. Oh my God, Simon's so pretty. Not you.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
Cat Simon.
Oh wow. Shit
Okay,
on
you're
me.
both pretty. Sorry, girls, you're both pretty.
That's all I wanted to hear.
I imagine Ruth has got Triss's purse, and he's like struggling with like the buckle or like the button
There's
or
just a
however
clasp.
it's. Yeah, like there's it's one of those purses that has like a fake buckle on the front, and like you can't like figure out where exactly it
It's
opens.
just decorative.
Yeah, it's a decorative buckle. It's that sort of situation. You ever have that happen? No, it's just me. Anyway, I don't carry purses. Rakel.
Okay. So I'm out here in the fucking cold. I've just been lurched off adrenaline happening. I have either been impaled or lassoed. And I know that whenever you try to yell after being very exerted in the cold, it's fucking hard.
Mm.
But I am trying to uh whistle very loudly for these other trains' attention, uh, to sort of like call them toward the shackled train. Um, and I'm gonna fish for endurance there, just to
Okay.
hold on and have the breath to whistle loudly as I'm plummeting in the very cold.
That's cool. I'm down for that.
26.
Raquel, with the final success that we needed to get us to a full victory. Whistles in an oddly savant-like way that sounds exactly the same as these train whistles.
Except it's like peep peep, not toot toot.
Yeah, exactly. Um, the for a woman who has just learned about the concept of train whistles, this is an incredible feat. Um,
The character arc, the loop.
this sound happens, and like in reaction to this, the train, RJ, what did you name the train?
Is in chat. I just said it.
Uh,
Oh,
there's-
right, I left.
I can't see it from all of the scary
Tremontaine?
Tramontane. Tramontane.
Tremontaine.
Tramontane pulls up, and Raquel slams into the roof of the train. And the sound of the trains off in the distance grows quiet. And then, like, there's just you and the wind. And then suddenly a shadow falls over you. And you can see that all of the trains that were off in that cloud have now started to stream towards Tramontaine and circle around her, and you come to realize that these trains are smaller than she is, and they are beginning to encircle her, and it becomes very clear that you are about to become like completely surrounded by an impenetrable wall of circling garter snake pile trains. When Tremontaine does a corkscrew maneuver and drops all of you out the top of the roof just before she becomes enveloped in a knot of trains.
My baby!
Are we just like in the snow?
The four of you are falling. And I think that you fall for long enough to realize that you're falling for too long. That when you land, it's not going to be good. When there is the sound of rattling bones and fungus-covered feathers unfurl underneath you, and you land in a soft bed of moss as the decay phoenix has come to your rescue. And it circles slowly to the ground, being buffeted by these winds until it deposits you in a gentle, soft snowbank and immediately falls to pieces.
So we're walking from now on, right?
Everybody go ahead and grab an action point for having done a skill challenge.
I thought you said that trains were safe.
Grab an extra action point for a super success.
Let's go. Oh, excuse me.
Where do I mark that on the builder?
To be fair, I said that trains were safer than walking. But I didn't expect it to, have a family? I think. He's just, like, bundling his clothes back. I couldn't figure out how to make your wallet work. He'll hand you your money back, Tris.
Oh, here. And she, like pulls under, like, the flap and, like, kind of clicks a switch over and pulls it up.
It's the clasp one. Oh, no.
He looks at it. He looks at you. You're a witch.
A witch!
Yes. Yes, I am, Mr. Ruth. Are you just now thinking, was it when I could talk to ghosts that you understood?
Oh, no, I figured you could always do that, but clasps. The buttons guy.
It's
Ruth, I'm sorry for hitting you, for making me blow the train whistle.
Rakel. And Ruth will come up and, like, grab both sides of your face. That was amazing. You saved us. You saved us all.
Now don't ever make me ride a train again.
If we do ride a train, it'll be a train of our own making, and we'll know that it's not sentient. Also, I think, technically, you branded a train.
Oh,
You'll, like, point
Mr.
at
the Kid.
You know, I always figured that trains, locomotives were like inanimate objects. I didn't know that.
Yeah, did you think the same about the Iron Flesh too?
Well, I didn't know about the Iron Flesh until like a couple hours ago.
Let me just take that rope back. And she kind of, like, takes the gold from the rope that's around your waist.
Kid standing there, points to Ruth, points to Rakel, points to himself, counts 1, 2, 3, 4, turns. Where's Thorn?
Is there just a pair of legs sticking out of a snowdrift nearby? Or is he gone?
Thorn is not visible to you at this time.
He got 8.
Oh, he's fucking dead.
He did. Now we'll find him in a bar somewhere.
Do I
He'll
sense
be fine.
his spirit?
Oh, hey there, Mistress.
His spirit. Okay. Do you seriously reach out and try and
Yeah.
see if there's any spirits around
Oh,
here?
where is our beloved minion?
There are going to be so many frozen travelers. Just like, oh, hey.
Oh, Thurisaz, come to me.
27.
27. You do not sense any familiar spirits, but this mountainside is littered with the souls of the lost and the hungry.
Oh. Hello, everyone. My name is Trisannas.
What's
Oh.
left of the Deathbird?
There is like a trench in the snow, where the bird had landed. You can trundle across the crater, I suppose, and find a little bundle of feathers and bones and rot.
All right. I'm going to kind of pack up what I can in like a little snowball. would I have a sense of like where was back the way we came?
Yes. Down the mountain.
Thanks for the save, but I know this ain't your place. I'm gonna eat it.
You packed it into a snowball
Mhm.
and you throw it down the mountain.
Mhm.
You see it roll and roll and roll and grow in size, and like you can hear like after it disappears into the snowstorm, you can hear the sound of like trees like cracking and crunching and falling over.
Well, you know what they say about rolling stones.
No.
Let him lie.
They don't collect moss, but which way do we go? My face is cold.
Excuse me, sir. She
You're
says to one of
excused.
the wandering spirits.
Oh.
This happens to Triss quite frequently. You
Mm.
see a spirit turn towards you, and they have no nose.
My name is Trisannas. I'm sure you've been here for quite some time. Do you perhaps know the way to the village that is near the top?
No village here.
Is there any sort of shelter nearby?
You see him sort of like look off into the distance, and he will point, I'll say, south.
Does that track with where we're going?
You would be going west.
Small detour, but we kind of need it.
Yeah. Would you be able to take us there yourself, or are you bound to this location?
He shakes his head to indicate that he's bound to this location. But he will point to the south again and say, there's a river in that direction. If you follow it downhill, you'll come to a cabin.
Thank you very kindly. And I hope you find rest. All right, we're heading south. There's a river, and we need to follow it. There's a cabin there.
Can... How far?
I'm sorry, how far is this cabin? Within an hour's walk, or?
Like already started to like lay face down in the snow, and then he like looks back up at you. Say like half a day's walk.
Half a day. Do we have time for that? What time of day is it?
Hard to tell in the snow.
Fair.
There's like
Half a day.
Give me a bit.
Does anyone know how to make a cat?
I will say that the storm is a lot worse higher up. Here the storm, is definitely here, but the wind isn't like whipping violently anymore. It's just like big fat flakes of snow just falling gently around you. So I'd call it a snowstorm, but not a blizzard, at least in the area that you are now.
Well, shall we? Start our trek?
I'd feel a little bit better if I took a little bit to get a feel for the area.
Take your time, but do not linger. We want to be there before nightfall, as it will get much colder.
I mean, if y'all want to start heading down,
You can
I'll
catch up.
I don't think we should split up.
Not in these mountains.
Y'all are easy to find.
You can see Triss is a white birch, She does blend in very well here.
When my fur gets cold, it turns that whitish color and actually gives him stealth advantage in the snow.
Are you testing Raquel?
No,
I'm just
no.
Kid has already started walking towards the river. He trusts Rakel.
All right.
Cool.
Well,
He gave her a
We
be
get-
safe, we'll be that way.
Yeah, I think
DM, I
Ruth-
would like to get a feel for the area.
Go for it.
Okay. I believe you have a ritual for this.
Yes, it will involve the component that I sent to you.
Is that? Would you like to do that?
Yes.
All right, hell yeah, I'm down for it. Raquel, is aware of a specific component that she will need for this ritual, and she outfits herself for such a venture. Would you like to give me a nature check? Sorry, I'm trying to look up this ritual specifically, and I'm gonna guess that it's gonna need a nature check.
Yes. That is in fact. I think no, it says a healing surge, but also
Oh,
let me look it up too.
yeah. Let's actually let's read these.
Reading the
Are we
rules.
doing speak with nature here? What are we doing?
I'm getting a feel for the area, and
Okay.
I would like to I would like to get a feel for the animals that are adapted to this area, which would likely involve hunting one.
Yes. Mm, are we doing a specific ritual? What is the
Sur-
name of it?
Survivors,
Survivor's preparation?
yeah, that.
Okay.
Key skill is nature, but no check.
Then we shall do that.
Yeah, and it costs a healing surge.
Okay, yeah. I'm down for it.
Uh,
The snow dampens your movements, and contributes to your ability to go unnoticed. What do you hunt?
I would feel like a the sort of creature that I would be after would be something along the lines of like a saber cat.
Okay. Let's go with a bobcat, but it's got like saber teeth. So let's call it a dagger cat. I think that's cute. And also we're killing it, so that's less cute.
There's more than one way.
Okay. You hunt yourself down a dagger cat. Is it like are we like shoot to kill, or like you
Yes.
trying to capture?
No,
Okay.
Like Red Dead, we're harvesting.
Got it. Okay. When you hunt, do you use a bow and arrow, or is
I
this
use
like
I use a spear.
a spear? Cool. All right. You are able to creep up on one of these here animals, and it's about the size of. It's not as big as like Morbeck per se, or like a wolf, like a canid. It's closer to the size of a fox, and it has got these like big fat like snowshoe mittens going on, as well as like the little itty bitty like bobcat tail that like pokes straight up in the air. And as you're creeping up on this creature, and yeah, I'll say you notice after you've made the kill. You dispatch it quickly and humanely. It does not suffer. And as you like begin to process your kill, you come to realize that it has no eyes.
Okay. She absolutely would have I I get the sense that she would she wouldn't kill it until it got the chance to see her, so that it did have the chance to escape.
So it would be a spookier situation
So
where it turns towards you, and like you have like you have like the gut feeling of being perceived, but like where its eyes should be are just smooth like divots of fur.
and she's just like, oh, and then makes the kill. But yeah, I'm gonna harvest it, break it down with law, and that will be my component for survivor's preparation. And I'll make my way back to the others.
Okay. You have this dagger cat skin, as well as its like teeth, claws. Anything else that you might need for this? What do you guys do while waiting for Rakel to return?
Is it okay for Kid to scout a little bit ahead and then come back to Ruth and Triss as they're walking?
That's fine. But you better yell like hell if anything breaks loose.
Ruthie, you're
Eh?
gonna hear the gunshots first.
Well, I don't know that, do I? What if it's like a cougar or something that sneaks up on you?
There
Why
a
would some
thing
old
about
women be out
Ekin
here?
Isn't there something about loud noises in the snow with a stampede of snow happening? Something.
Avalanche.
Mm-hmm.
You will hear the quietest gunshots. Or you'll see me running back up the trail towards you.
You better.
You are an adult.
These mountains took a lot from me already. I won't have them take again.
Well, don't worry, Ruthie. If he does go off and perish in the cold, he'll be with me at least.
Ruth will just
You can
nod.
see like a slight smile, like she's making a joke.
Ruth finds comfort in your words.
Don't worry, Ruth. I don't even think an act of God could tear us away from you. And Kid starts walking away.
Because if it was, I'd
Of
fight
course,
him.
of course, he is made of law. He won't have a spirit to return. That was a joke.
I might just pop back up like a fresh, like, daisy, you know?
Not in the snow.
Ah, somewhere else.
Hmm.
Be careful.
Crunch, 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 crunch.
You're gonna go and scout ahead.
Yes, chef.
What are you looking for?
Just like immediate travel. Not pitfalls, but like dangers that we would come across heading towards the river. Gonna be it like natural or predation.
Okay. You're just like looking, or
Yeah, just
are you trying to
doing
like...
a heckin' scout.
intuit, because otherwise I'm gonna make you roll a perception again, and I don't know if you want that.
Yeah, my insight's so much better. By
Well,
leaps and bounds.
I mean, like, to be fair, insight is like we just this episode we used it for like Triss to like intuit where Rakel was going to be,
Could I use my Arcana? Kid takes a knee in the snow and starts spreading law around. And I'm hoping to use Arcana to, quote unquote, intuit, like where the law lands and what's there.
Okay,
Kind of
I can
like
work with that.
law sonar.
Yeah. I can work with that.
I hit G on my keyboard and I ping the map. Pulse 19, 12. Okay, cool. It's just a normal 20.
A normal 20, just a okay. You are trying to get the vibe of the area. Now, you have been in the territory of a number of deputies at this point, and you have found that like the terrain will sort of change to suit their whims, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not. And likewise, you can feel the faint influence of a deputy. You feel that you're on like the outskirts of the next deputy's territory. Just barely their influence trickling in. For the most part, it's imbued in the snow. You can tell that the blizzard is their doing, but the fact that it's like so faint makes you feel that it is probably not solely his doing. I have described in the past when you are like investigating the results of somebody's lawmaking, you can kind of like look into the code of it and read the law, the intent of their magic, basically. If you look deeper and like basically try to read the fine print on the snowflakes, it has a very simple intent. And it says, "Get out."
I think at this, kid like jerks his hand away from the snow and looks down like, oh god. Ugh. Don't like that at all. He'll guesstimate where Triss and Ruth are gonna walk and just wait at like a point like underneath a tree, so he's not moving too far away, but he can keep an eye out at this stopping point for him.
So you're just like sitting in one place waiting for them to catch up with you.
Yeah.
Okay. You sit underneath a tree and watch like snow fall softly around you. And as can happen when you're in a wild place and you sit quietly for a while, the wildlife begins to become active again. You hear, you hear some birds singing, and they sort of like chatter back and forth to each other. And you hear a slight rustling in the bushes nearby. And dampened by the snow, a little white snow hare comes out of what appears to be probably its burrow, or, might have been hiding from you when you walked up. And as you see this snow hare come out, Like you look around and realize, oh, there's like hair tracks around. Like I probably could have like inferred that if I like were looking for that sort of thing, but seems like there are rabbits in this area.
Is some decent eats, but for now, kid waits. I think this is a catharsis for him. It is just nature, no gun smoke or blood to fill the nose. He can smell pine and fresh snow, and it is quite nice for him, actually.
Oh, like so quiet, like the world is just covered in this cold blanket.
And this is when you find out he has tinnitus.
And it's just it's peace. It's just peaceful.
I think what he takes comfort more in is also like the wind that like whips around him every now and again.
The branches rustling, and the rabbit that has like taken to just like foraging in the snow some distance from you perks up its ears and like looks off in the direction that Ruth and Trisannas will be approaching. And you start thinking to yourself, oh, my friends must be coming. When something large snatches the rabbit and drags it into the bushes.
Oh. Kid had his rifle leaning on his shoulder as he's waiting. He pushes it off, kind of rolls in the snow so he can get to the other side of the tree, and then pushes his back against it.
You can hear rustling leaves as whatever dragged that rabbit away is still here, and it is quite large.
Kid sticks 2 fingers in his mouth and just lets out the sharpest whistle he can to alert Ruth and Tris there's something here.
Rakel can hear this whistle as well, as at this point she would be returning with her kill.
Said they were going to be easy to find.
Start hustling.
As Ruth, Tris, and Rakel are alerted to something happening near Kid, I imagine you're readying your weapon, standing like stock still up against this tree, hearing rustling, snapping, no like animal sound, just like something large moving. You see, you're readying yourself for the worst, when you see, just as calm as can be, another snow hare just sort of like thumps past you, and then like stops in front, like not directly in front of you, like a few feet in front of you, when it stands up on its hind legs, you know, like its cute little rabbit paws in front of it, and it looks directly at you, and it has no eyes. Another rabbit will trundle over next to that rabbit, and, you know, just sort of start sniffing at the snow. And a third rabbit will come in, and it's all like, oh, a family. And the third, like, all of these rabbits, no eyes to speak of. The third rabbit kind of like bumps up against the first rabbit, and their fur is white. White as the snow, in such a way that they are, you know, like supposed to like blend in for, you know, camouflage reasons. They sort of blend into each other as well. But more so than you would expect. The third rabbit bumps into the first rabbit, and they kind of move into each other. Um, and they're like moving independently, but they are definitely occupying the same space.
I'm just gonna try and keep as silent and still as possible.
Staying silent and still. When you hear that snapping and crackling of something large moving towards you, and like more and more rabbits just keep on like coming from the bushes to the sides of you
What the
and like
shit?
out in front of you. And like, you know, like very calmly just like going like in and out of each other's space, like occupying the same space, occupying the same flesh and body, and then like easily like separating again. um and you look at the shadow of the tree in front of you, and it's like it grows like numerous limbs, like numerous stubby, short little limbs, paired in twos. And I think you don't quite comprehend what you're looking at until you finally turn and you can see that there is a pile of snowy rabbit fur behind the tree with little rabbit ears poking out in every which way.
Aw, shit. What does it do?
Well, it moves forward, enveloping the tree and trying to envelop you.
Fuck.
Just like boots on the snow. Crunch, 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 running back up the trail.
And that's where we will leave off
The
for
fuck?
this week. Because I do not want to start a combat just now.
Hey, that's totally fine. Instead, we have a week to be like, what the fuck is this? I'm so excited. Wings, thank you so much for running this game, but I'm always appreciative whenever any of y'all are on the channel. Wings, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm Wings. I'm drinking a Baja Blast, which is ill-advised after 10 p.m. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com doing nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. I am the DM. Thank you for watching. DanaeKeener.com.
And RJ.
I was getting to it. I was trying to find my unmute button. Hello, everybody. My name is RJ. You can catch me at RJustice282 on most socials. I do a lot of things on the internet, primarily here over at the Hype Goblins. Over on, oh god, we have a special project coming up. I can't wait for it to launch. It's over with Noir, Enigma, LB's there. They have their own show too. It's Wild Time. I'm over on Rediscovery on Wednesdays playing a hack of kids on bike called Monsters Within, where you play your like adult versions of your kids and then you just deal with your traumas. It's a time. I'm playing the popular kid who turned into the gifted burnout and now is a blue-collar worker.
So, where's the escapism?
The escapism is sometimes I can pick a perk called Fool God and say, no, that doesn't happen.
All right,
Otherwise, it's always happening all the time to nakeener.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on Instagram and on Blue Sky. You can find me here on Mondays for the foreseeable future. I am streaming 6 days a week for the next 2 weeks. So tomorrow I'll be on Critique Chronicles doing our D+ Ultra game. We are 2 more episodes into that. I am playing Kimberly Keener, who is her quirk is called Brightside, or her quirk is called Flashbang. Her hero name is Brightside. And we're about to go do some sketchy stuff. So check out my Instagram or my Blue Sky for all that. Yes,
Is she coming out of her cage?
she's doing just fine. She's not. She's the only one using logic, and it's killing her. Yeah, that's me. DanaeKeener.com.
Hi, I'm CyberWolf1 or Cyber. You can find me at cyberwolf1.com, both the actual website and also on Blue Sky. don't try to find me anywhere else. Except Twitch. I sometimes do things there, but don't try to find me. You won't like what you find.
And if you've made it this
DnDkinger.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Corns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time when we can, and Sundays 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time when we can. I'll talk more about that in the Patreon, and I'll probably also do a little bit of a write-up to kind of give a status of the channel, because like we said at the beginning, last time we've played was in September. Yeah. So if you want to know what the lowdown was with that, as well as about future channel updates and stuff like that, feel free to go and check out patreon.com/indooradventures, or you can join the Discord. The link can be found down below. As far as where you can find me, hey, you already found me the once. Sundays, you'll find me the twice. Or if you are in the Portland metro area this coming weekend, I will be over at SCGCon, the Star City Games card convention that is happening at the Portland Convention Center. I will be playing the Flesh and Blood Battle Hardened on that Saturday. So if you see me, come say hi, or maybe we can have a game. It'll be a fun time. But that being said, we are going to be heading off to our Patreon-supported after show, so I'd like to once again say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to Danae for running this absolutely incredible game, and thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!